This is Brian Finale, and you're listening to the My Lead System Pro podcast, the podcast for entrepreneurs who want to grow, get better, and rewire your mind for success so you can build the business of your dreams. And now, it's time to dig deep with an MLSP industry top earner. Let's rock. Welcome to another episode of the My Lead System Pro Wake Up Call podcast. We have another amazing leader with us today. She's free. She's free, y'all. She's free. Lindsay Sewell, man, got involved in this industry a couple years ago and didn't, just like many of us, didn't know anything about internet marketing, network marketing, sales, closing, prospecting, leadership, automation, social media, nothing. She got good. She invested. She did the work. She got to events, invested in coaching, went to workshops. Got a couple kids at home. One, her story's pretty damn awesome. She didn't want to miss. Kid number one, she had a gig. She missed a lot of stuff. Kid number two, she said, no, I'm not going to miss any of this stuff. Very compressed version of Lindsay's story, and she may hopefully share some of that today. And she got to work. That's it. She got to work. She's a top affiliate here, helps facilitate our level 1 workshop. Social media just wizard. She's a coach here. She's got multiple revenue streams going, and she's 100% free. And I'm happy and very pleased and excited to report she's not missing anything. Right? She posts like all day long about being with her kids, about being able to be away from the computer and be present with her children, which is why she started in the first place. And it's getting kind of fun and cool on her side too. It's possible, y'all. It's possible. Please help us welcome the amazing Lindsay Sewell. Good morning, my friend. Welcome to the Wake Up Call.
Good morning. I'm excited. I specifically chose to do this on Friday because I love Fridays. Fridays when we look back on the week at what we accomplished. We can celebrate the work we put in, celebrate our achievements. Or maybe you're focused on what you didn't get done. So if that's the place that you went this morning, I want you to take a moment and check in with yourself on that. Because the language that you use with yourself is incredibly powerful. It shapes your behavior. It shapes who you become and how you show up. And I got emotional just listening to Brian talk about how much I missed with my first daughter, because I did decide. I remember being 5 months pregnant with my second daughter, driving home from work and sobbing, thinking, I can't miss out on all of these things a second time. The first words, the first steps. And I was so fortunate. My parents lived close by, so I was able to have my children being watched by my parents, someone I trusted. I didn't have to put them in a stranger's hand. And if you do, there's nothing wrong with that. There is beauty in whatever you do to make your world happen, right? If it's to be home with your kids, that's amazing. If you're working and you're working towards your freedom, that's amazing. If you love your job, that's amazing. For me, I desperately wanted to be with them. And I knew back then that I had to make a change. And today, like Brian said, I get as much time with them as I want. I get to choose when and how I'm going to work so that I can be fully present with them. And today, I'm going to talk to you about something that I heard a while back that's a little counterintuitive, and it's called mediocre improvement. Now, before you jump off the call and you say, excuse me, Lindsay, we are here to be motivated. We are here for greatness. We are not here for mediocrity. I want you to hear me out because I want to tell you a story about my week. And the irony is that every week I sit down and I pick out what I'm going to do for my content for the following week. I plan everything out. I batch it. That's something that I like to do so I can have that time with my kids. And so I was planning out what I was going to talk about on this call. I was planning out what I was going to post on social media. I was thinking about what videos I was going to do, Facebook Lives, everything. And then my entire week got thrown for a loop. Because this weekend, my daughter, my youngest, my 5-year-old, was playing outside, and she's my rough and tumble kid, and she hurt herself. She hurt her eye. And this is terrifying for a mom because I called the doctor's office, and they said the only thing I could do was either wait until the next Monday morning or take her to the emergency room. And I just couldn't think about how terrifying it would be to spend, hours in an emergency room with my tiny little baby. I mean, she's 5, but she's still my baby. So I thought, okay, Monday I'm going to get up first thing. I'm going to call my doctor's office and get in as soon as possible. But when I did that, I came to find out that my doctor was flying home from a vacation, and he wouldn't be in until the following day, and we couldn't wait any longer. So we scrambled to find another doctor who would see our kids, and we got an appointment right smack in the middle of the day, right smack in the time when I would normally be working and coaching and putting out content, and it completely threw us for a loop. And at that appointment, we found out that we had to go back the next day for them to check and make sure everything was healing properly. And on that appointment, we found out we had to go back the following day. And on top of all that, I had a hurt little kiddo, and my mama heart was focused on her. So all these big plans and goals for the week kind of went out the window. And, I could have sat there and said, like Brian talked about overwhelm. I could have sat in a place of, I'm overwhelmed. I can't do anything this week. And let that be an excuse. I can only focus on my children because I do this for them. But I thought, you know what? I can still do some of the work. I can still get just 1% better each day in my business and show some mediocre improvement, even if I can't do all the things that I had planned out. And so one of the things that I did was I wrote a letter each day to my list. Before my kids got up in the morning and I could do anything for them, just 1% more effort. And if you guys missed the webinar on Wednesday, if you are a guest here and you're new to this wake-up call, you don't know a lot about MLSP, or you're one of our members and you didn't see the Wednesday webinar and you don't know, you don't use email marketing in your business yet, you are going to want to head over to the MLSPfanpage.com after this call, and you're going to want to watch that email marketing webinar from Wednesday night that Brian and Jim and Diane, they did an absolute fantastic job. Email marketing saved me this week. 3 years ago, I had no list. This week, with a sick little kiddo, a hurt little daughter, I made multiple sales by simply being able to send out a few emails. And it's not the first time. If email is totally new to you and you're like, I don't know how to build an email list, I don't know what to say to people, then go grab the Email Marketing Fast Track Workshop. It's coming up. You're listening to this before the 28th of August. You still have time. If you're a guest, get back with the person who invited you, because when I started in 2018, I knew nothing. I knew nothing, but all the tools to succeed are right here in MLSP. And when I started, I simply committed to that mediocre improvement. 1% better with it each day. 1% more investment in learning, in writing, in building that relationship with my list. And like I said, many sales this week from just 10 minutes of work. I've sold out coaching programs. I've brought in teammates. I've created cash on demand with email. It is one of the cornerstones of my business. Diane, who's the #1 affiliate here inside of MLSP, has said in the past, this is the thing that has made her the most money in her business. If it works for a 22-year industry veteran, why not you? Because it truly saved me this week from the stress and any kind of overwhelm that could have crept in from not being able to work. So I want you to think today about your big goals, and getting just 1% better each day. So close your eyes for a second. Not if you're driving. If you're driving, don't close your eyes. But if you're in a place where you can, take a breath, close your eyes, and imagine the big, audacious goal that you have for your business. Or maybe it's your life. Maybe it's your health, your family, your relationships, whatever these big goals and dreams are for you. I want you to think about that big goal for a second. And then I want you to ask yourself, do I know exactly what I need to do to reach that goal? Because if it's a really big goal, I guess the answer is actually no. And this is what gets so many people stuck. We're told to create these big, audacious goals, but then we have no idea how to get from where we are to those results. And so we freeze. See, a goal in isolation doesn't achieve anything. I don't care how much meditation, visualization, and desire you have. Without action, you will not move closer to the goal. Listen to that again. The meditation is important. The visualization is important. But without action, you won't move closer to the goal. And yes, it might be scary at first. Welcome to entrepreneurship. There have been so many times in this journey that I've literally thought I was going to throw up because something was so new, so scary, and so outside what I had done in the past and felt comfortable with. And every time I stepped into that, instead of running from it, magical things happened. And when we're only focused on achieving the goals, we can start putting off our happiness because we think we can't be happy until we get there. And you've probably heard this before, but I want to remind you again that every single overnight success story was years, sometimes decades in the making. And I don't want you to be unhappy for years. And I don't want you to be stuck and not knowing where to reach the goal and how to reach the goal. And that's why I started focusing on this 1% better concept. And I'm going to offer this as an option for you today as well. I want you to have your goals. I want you to know where you want to go. But then I want you to focus on the next smallest step. Like we talk about here in MLSP, you come into this community, you go to your back office, there's so much available for you. There are lead gen campaigns and funnel builders and tons of, training and courses in our library that you can take advantage of and daily calls. But we tell you to go to the Start Here button and just take the next smallest step. Just focus on getting 1% better every day. So this week before this call, I actually did some research on Google. And I said, well, what if I got 1% better every day? What would I be? How much better would I be at the end of the year? It actually comes out to 37% better at the end of the year. I know the math seems weird, but according to Google, it's correct. It's an exponential improvement, not a flat linear one. So it's not 365% better. But have you ever heard about the story of how bamboo grows? When you plant it, it spends the first 4 years putting roots down into the soil. And above the soil, you don't see much happening. For all intents and purposes, it looks like it's failing to thrive in those first 4 years. You can't see anything happening on the outside. But then in year 5, it shoots up to like 100 feet tall. And that didn't happen in the 5th year. It happened in all 5 years. All the work, all the growth, all the 1% better improvement. And the beauty in bamboo is that it doesn't judge its progress. It doesn't feel overwhelmed, disappointed, it's taking too long to reach the goal, or it hasn't gotten there yet. It simply gets 1% better. Day after day, week after week, year after year, until it pops. So what if you could be bamboo? What if you could stop worrying about how much further that ultimate goal was? What if you instead started focusing on your 1%, maybe even mediocre improvement each day that could equal up to 37% better by the end of just the first year, and then compound that year over year? What if you just decided every day and every week you would celebrate that improvement? You would celebrate what you did today that maybe you didn't do yesterday. You wrote an email to your list. You signed up and invested in the workshop so you could add this to your business. You did the Facebook Live. You had the maybe scary prospecting conversation with that ideal client. What if you could celebrate your progress and your action and your systems that you're putting in place, and you didn't let yourself get stuck? Because all you need to do is be 1% better than you were yesterday. And if you let yourself focus on the systems that produce that growth, then no one else's journey matters. You don't have to compare yourself to others anymore. You just focus on your growth. What could your life look like 365 days from now? What goals might you be surprised that you reached along the way, even if when you started, you didn't know the exact path to get there? How much happier could your life be because you get to enjoy the journey and be happy and celebrate it along the way because you're focused on your systems. You're not focused on waiting to be happy when you hit that ultimate goal. You focused on taking your daily action towards your goal. You celebrated your 1% growth. You celebrated the systems you put in place, and you didn't put the happiness off. Your journey is your journey. But how you feel about it is completely up to you. Your ability to take the next smallest step and make mediocre improvements 1% better every day could be the single thing that sets you on the path to your ultimate goals and greatness. So I want to continue this conversation over on the MLSPfanpage.com. When you come over there, tell me if you are committed to getting 1% better today. I want to know what you're going to do today that you didn't do yesterday. I'm going to see you guys over there at MLSPfanpage.com in a few minutes.
You have been listening to the My Lead System Pro podcast with Brian Finale and the MLSP leaders. To learn how MLSP can help you get more leads and make more money in your business starting today, visit www.mlsp.com and take your risk-free test drive. MLSP.com. That's MLSP.com, creating tomorrow's leaders today.